Everyone, Paul here. Today I'm going to go over you guys a setup on using the linear strategy for the last video I did it for crypto. Today I'm going to show you how to use this linear strategy for the stock market. You can use this strategy for doing options, or if you just want to find all the moments where an asset is going up, it works for that. You can use this strategy if you want to trade something like MicroStrategy or something that has a lot of high volume and focus on all the moments when an asset goes up. But mainly this is for doing options. And this strategy, I discovered this strategy like right before the market closed last Friday. So I haven't really tested this out with as it's going, but this week I'm going to be using this strategy for options, and I'll show you guys how to set this up. It's pretty simple. It's using a linear line, and you can do this on for the stock market. Particularly all the other strategies that I talk about on this channel, they might work for lower time frames, but this one, in my opinion, it works for the hour the best. The longer time frames work the best because because you got the contracts and they expire, and you got to find all those good moments. But anyway, let me show you how to set it up. So if you're doing options on Robinhood, I would suggest doing this on the hour. But if you're trading SPX and you don't have anything expiring. So anyway, let me show you how to set this up. First thing I have is my linear regression candle. So basically you want to go up here to the indicators. You want to go to the linear regression candles by this one right here. You want to go with candles. I'll click it again. Let me hide the other ones I have. So you're gonna have it all mumbled jumbled here if you don't. So the first thing you really need to do is you need to hide the candles, because you have two candles loaded at the same time. And you want to hide your regular candles, and you want to have your linear regression candles here. So the settings here for the linear regression candles is you can change this. You can change the candle colors to whatever you want, but you need to have your linear line right here. You can make it more thick. I either choose white or yellow for mine. And once you're done, it'll look like this. I have mine yellow. So what you want to do, basically, you want to hide your regular candles and show your linear regression candles. And then you want, I find that this helps a lot too. It's to have the consolidation zone on here. This outlines moments where something's consolidating, and it's recommended not to do any trading when something is consolidating. So then I have my OBV MACD indicator here. So you basically load it up. It's going to look a little bit different when you load up your OBV. So you load that up right here. It's going to look a little different. And what you basically do is you want to change your plot line, and you want to make it into a bright color, and make it more thick if you want to. And then you have to change your color 0 to a green, bright green, something that stands out, and turn the opacity all the way up. And then you want your red to be bright as well, and turn all the opacity up. And this is personal preference, but I shrink down the thickness. That's just me. So anyway, it'll look exactly like this. So for this video, I'm going to do it the one with the more thick. Let's make my linear zero line a little smaller. Okay. So the goal of this strategy is to whatever asset you're looking at. And we're doing the S&P 500 right here. And you want to wait for the candle to cross through the linear line. So basically we see it crossing right here. So usually about this candle right here will be the good time to get in, and you ride it out till you get your first red candle, or if you're doing this on a downtrend, you're going to ride it out until you get your first green candle. So you basically, you can ride it out because it shows you the overall direction of where it's going, and it's very useful. So if we got in at this moment right here where we see the linear candle passing through the candle passing through the linear line. If we rode in and got into a call at this point, and we just rode this out, now you'd have to buy a contract at this point. You would have to buy a 1-day contract at least. If you wanted to stretch it out for more, you would have had to ride it out till about here. So you would have had to have a contract for a day and a half. But this is about a $10 difference in price, which means you made around $1,000 for this move here if you did one contract. It's easy to find all these moments. So you see that it happens here. The linear line went down very briefly, and you can see that right here. But this is a very brief move right here. You see it going down. So I personally, when it comes to the S&P 500, no matter what, unless I see this happening on longer time frames, I'm always focusing on direction of it going up, because overall the S&P 500 tends to be going up. So I focus on all the moments where the candles are going up. This is only for the S&P 500, but I don't focus on the moments it gets down, because that's going against the trend, and overall the S&P 500 is going up. So if we focus on all the moments where it's going up, we see that consolidation zone is right here, so we would know really not to trade in this moment. And you do have a moment of it going down right here. That's if anybody would want to do that, but I focus on all the moments it's going up. But if you did want to do a put here, this would be going against the trend. You get in right about here where it's going below the linear line. You ride it out. You did a put. This is a day and a half, and you see the green candle hitting right here. So you can get into there. This is a $7 difference in price. This is about a $767 move for one contract. So here we focus on the linear line going above it. So we focus on this move right here. We see the first red candle right about here. This is about a day. Let's just do a day here. This is a $571 move. And then as you notice, the S&P 500 it goes down, goes up, goes down, goes up. So it has these patterns, but I still focus on, just the moments where it goes up. Focus on when the green candle is above the linear line. See, it's consolidating right here, so you personally wouldn't get into this until it breaks out of it. And we see it right here. We can write this out from here to here. This is $662 move. Now, if you did this on SPX, let's just load SPX here real quick. If you do SPX, you don't have to worry about contracts. You can ride this out for longer. You can go for longer time frames. You can go to a 4-hour here. If you do SPX on a longer time frame, because you don't have to worry about contracts, you could do this for a longer period of time. Like right here, we see the green candle coming out of it, and we can ride this for longer days and get more profit that way. But you would have to do the SPX on Forex. But let's just go back. The same rules apply, but the only difference is if you're doing it on Forex, you don't have to worry about anything expiring. So let's just go back to SPY. Now, the whole purpose of having the OBV MACD indicator here is you can also use this. you can also use this as moments of seeing when to get in as well. When anything crosses the zero line, it's also another indication of getting in the trade. As you notice here, this is also a good point to get in whenever it crosses the zero line. And you see it happening. You see it happening here as well. You see it crossing zero lines, another good profit zone. So let's real quickly go over. Actually, let's get out of the 4 hour here. Okay, so if we're looking at the MACD here, and we want to focus on all the moments where it's crossing. We got a good moment here. That was a fake out, but still, you'd still be in profit. You see that it's predicting the downtrend right here. You can see that it predicts pretty well of the uptrend right here. Downtrend right here. And you can see uptrend right here. So if you go by the MACD, it actually gets some pretty good points. But let's look at a couple other stocks here real quick. Let's look at MicroStrategy, which if you're doing option contracts with MicroStrategy, it's very, 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 very expensive. This is a situation to where you could focus on all the moments where it goes up, and you can actually get some good percentages. So for this example, I'm just going to be using MicroStrategy for good high percentages. So if you look at the MACD here, it crosses up right here. So this would be a good moment to get in, riding this out. This is a 17% increase in 1 day. And you can also look at your candles here. It breaks out a consolidation right about here. It's above it, so it points it out here as well. You see that the MACD is pointing down, and it's also below the linear line here. So that's another. Well, actually, this would only move if you're doing an options contract. So we want to focus on all the moments where it's going up. We see the candles are above the linear line right here, so this is a good move. Right about here, if you rode this out to here, this would be a 16% increase in 4 hours. And then you got the candles are above the linear line right about here to here. This is a 20% in 6 hours. So you get the idea. You can use this strategy to find all those high percentage gains, and you can use it for options. Let's real quickly look at a couple more stocks. Let's look at NVIDIA, which is pretty close to MicroStrategy as far as percentage gains. So we can see in NVIDIA and you point out all the good moments of getting in. You see it. See the candle dips here, and it goes up right about here. So you could get in right about here and ride this out with a NVIDIA call option. This is a $72 difference in price. Or you could ride this out as some pretty good percentage gains. This is an 8% in 3 days. So we'll look at both. Now, in this scenario here, you see the green candles above the linear line, but you see the line it's below the zero line on the MACD. So this tells me that the move is not that strong. So you really want to look for the moment when the lines are above it, because that really tells you that it's bullish. So over here we have the example here. We see the candles are above the linear line. We also see it on the MACD. So this would be a good position to be in. So if you rode this one out here to here, you would be, for options, this is a $55 difference in price. And if you're just trading it out for high percentage gains, it's 6%. So let's look at one more stock real quick. Let's look at one that's not as expensive. Let's look at well, we did some pretty good high gain ones here. Let's look at Coinbase here, since Coinbase, it might be popping here pretty soon. So if you did an option here for Coinbase, you see the green candles are above the linear line. So this would be a good moment to get in if you rode this out from here to here. This would be a 18% increase. This is a $42 difference in price. You could also use this for a high percentage gains. So if you want to use this for high percentages, you find all the moments where it goes up, and you see the green candle right here going above the linear line. If you ride this out till the first red candle, this is a 5% move. This is a $11 difference in price. So you see that this strategy works really well. You basically wait for the candle to go above the linear line, and that you enter as soon as it goes above the linear line, and you exit before you get your first candle in the opposite direction, and it works really well. You also have the MACD here to actually confirm everything. So you want to make sure that when you're doing your trades, that, for example, saying the candle is above the linear line, you want to make sure that the line is above the zero line if you're doing everything if you're doing anything in an uptrend. And you want to make sure that when you're doing a downtrend, you want to make sure the candle is below the linear line, and you want to make sure that your line on the MACD is going down as well. That will just help confirm everything. So anyway, this works for the stock market. It works really well, in my opinion. So anyway, this video is for entertainment purposes only. This is not financial advice. This is the context of the video is just my point of view from looking at the charts. If you guys want to do this strategy, I'm not responsible for any profit or loss. But anyway, I find this strategy very helpful. If you guys like this video, make sure you hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'll see you guys in future videos.